Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the Grounded Bag podcast. And I'm your host, Aisha Ansa. And if you haven't already planted roots with us, please do so. I don't know what is going on, but let's make it happen. Please go ahead and plant root with us and subscribe to this YouTube channel, like, share, and comment so you do not miss any videos that I publish. And listen, please tell the YouTube multiverse that you find value here. Don't forget to listen to us on Spotify, as well as to subscribe to the Grounded Bag podcast on Substack so you never miss an update or latest conversations, because there are some conversations that I will be conducting on Substack and not on YouTube specifically. Yes, indeed. So, because that is the overall goal, is that I don't want to put too much on YouTube because I also want to give you all some time to breathe because we're all about mental health here, as well as respect, because it's a lot. We're all trying, it's a lot that we're taking in. So the most important thing is that you feel supported, respected, and mindfulness is maintained. I'm just getting my glasses. I don't wear prescription. This is just blue light glasses because, trying to protect my eyesight here. Yes. Okay. Yes, indeed. So, when it comes to overall navigating these social spaces, I just want all of you to know that I'm here with you. I'm your sister. I am your friend. I am your soldier that has been soldiering this journey with you too. So, this segment, it's an extension of the Grounded by podcast, but it's also an extension of me, Rooted with Aisha, because Rooted with Aisha is more than, oh, Lord. Rooted with Aisha is different extensions of me because a tree has many roots, and many roots are they look different, but it's a part of the same tree. So essentially speaking, that's why these segments, it embodies every part of me. So I want to give each part its own respect. So if you have not already, check out my other playlist for Career Tuesdays, for the the other playlists about health, wellness. I got brain fog there. So you see, you get me. You get me. So, but today this is all about education. We're here to talk about it. We're here to embrace it. We're also here to embody it. And we're also here to give ourselves that grace. So if this is your 30-minute break, if this is your 15-minute, then pause it and come back to us. Wait, I'm not trying to sound cheesy or anything, but wait. Before you go any further, have you subscribed yet? Please do. Plant roots so that way you don't miss any video that I publish, as well as any announcements or just any form of purposeful content that I'm prayerfully going to be presenting on this platform, as well as shorts, because I do get down. I do. So you can follow me on TikTok as well, Rooted with Aisha, as well as X, Rooted with Aisha, where I also get down and live tweet on shows that I enjoy, reshare a lot of my content that I post on there. And sometimes I do share other um, form of mentions. So I just want to just check in to make sure that you are still here with me in this moment, because Rooted with Aisha isn't just a series, it's actually an extension of me. It's my journey through education, career, health, and reclaiming myself and rediscovering who I am in every season. Because this is the truth, roots doesn't stay the same. So they grow, they stretch, they deepen, they also evolve. And so do we, so do I. So thank you so much for being here and for watching and for listening. If you're listening to my podcast on all streaming platforms, follow me on Substack as well, because I will be ramping up a lot of digital media on there as well. And thank you for also growing alongside with me. So, hey, if I lost you a second there, if you fell asleep, no hate, all love. That's okay. So please pause and come back and tap back in when you're ready. But if you're still with me, just know I appreciate you. Now, back to the show. Because we're going to try to definitely do this in a 30-minute break time. So that way you're able to get back to your life and not feel as if you have to stay with us too long. So if you have your phone, get it out and let's do 30 minutes on the time clock, huh? Let's do it. All righty. So, in terms of education, we're going to get into some more in-depth topics on future videos or future episodes. But what I do want to really talk about more with you right now, even in this moment, is knowing that you're not behind, you're being built. And for many of us, we feel as though, okay, I'm the first person in my family. Sometimes culture can also come into play where we're like, I have this expectation that I need to meet. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to be everything that my parents want me to be, or I need to meet this expectation. But then at the end of the day, do I like what I see in the mirror? Am I happy with who I am? Do I feel proud of what I'm doing? Do I love what I'm doing? Or am I just doing it because my elders or parents or culture requires me to do this, especially when it comes to education? Because I've spoke to many individuals from different walks of life, and the educational hurt is real, where they don't feel smart enough, or you may not feel as if that you're cut out for this. And I'm just going to keep it 1000% with you. I've been in spaces where education has been a hurdle because you feel as though that you're not worthy. You feel as though, because I felt as though I wasn't smart enough. I felt as though I'm not book smart. So don't even put me in that category. But with God's help and good teachers, the support of my mom and many other um academical courses that she placed me in elementary school, and even when I was a younger girl, on phonics, verbal communication. Well, I didn't have that much issue with verbal communication, but just phonics and just those kind of courses just to help get me going on that level was really supportive. And I felt very seen in those moments, and I was always like, I wish I could do this. I wish I could be like this person. But, and I was known as the if only thinker. But as I got older, I learned to love who I am, as well as I learned to appreciate my quirks, what makes me different, what makes me operate on a different scope versus I wish I was like this person. And this is a blessing for me to even say this openly and verbally, because many times even on social media and even in those spaces where like, let me conform and let me do this just to get views, or let me just dive into this vein just for this kind of attention. And I've even had to check my own self to be like, okay, the views will come, the subscribers will come, but let me just focus on doing it the right way with integrity and making myself proud in terms of the work that I'm putting out, but most importantly, forget self, making God proud of me, because I know that He is the one that brought me to this point. And that's why when it comes to you're not behind, but you're being built, because it's a journey. Many of us don't get here that quick, and some of us get here when we're in our 30s, 40s, and sometimes we feel behind. Like, man, I wasted so much time that I could have been further. But in many cases, once you've reached that level, you're like, okay, thank God. But I wish I did this sooner. But then would you have learned the same lesson that you know now? Clock that T for a minute, because timeline anxiety is real. I was guilty of that, because I was guilty of, when I'm at this age, I need to have this accomplished, that accomplished, that accomplished. But it wasn't necessarily wrong, because it gave me a goal to really think about and not feel as though I had all the time in the world to deliberate and think. But it made me mindful that, hey, at this age, I want to get my MSW or my master's, or I wanted to achieve this because I don't know what my life is going to look like when I'm in my 30s or 40s. So I wanted to keep that in mind. So if you have a goal for yourself, or if you have that idea that, hey, I want to be this or do this, there's nothing wrong with that. But the most important thing is not giving yourself so much flack if you're not able to attain that goal at that age or do this or do that. Because sometimes life circumstances, if you have to raise your siblings or death of a parent, different life circumstances puts us in positions where we feel as if we have to choose, and then we feel as though we sacrificed when we could have been more. So there's so many ways to look at this, as well as comparison and culture. There's so many elements of when culture comes into play where we ultimately feel as though culture is the main deciding factor as to if we succeed. Am I ashamed to my culture if I don't graduate college, or if I'm ashamed to my parents if I don't go to an Ivy League school? I've heard many of my peers say that they had that crossroad where they felt as though their parents wanted them to go to Ivy League and they wanted to go to community college. So there's different variables to look at it, and there's also different forms of reminders just to keep in at the back of our heads that these are the viewpoints that many of us come to. And that also brings me to this first question is, when did you first feel like you were behind in life? I first felt that way when I was in elementary school. And I stopped feeling that way once I moved from high school to my undergrad. And I really saw myself in a way of like, girl, you evolved. But I also sometimes I may feel subconsciously that I'm behind in many other ways. Sometimes you may have that favorite subject, and sometimes you may have other subjects that may not be your strongest suit. Math is not my strongest suit, but when it comes to calculating certain things, consumer math, if I'm at, doing um, a Walmart order or a digital order, I factor in how much I have in my bank account versus what this is going to cost me. So I do that quick math, quick, because I also know that I have other expenses. So that gave me some confidence in knowing that, girl, you're not that far gone. You may not be someone that can just, you may not be like a Sherman Clump where you know all of the mathematical equations, but you know something to get you going. But that is the question that I want you to leave yourself with, is, when did you first feel like you were behind in life? Some of us feel as though, I want to, by 30, I want to have kids, be married. Life is different for each person's. And sometimes society can make you feel as though, oh, your eggs are dying, you got to go. Well, are they going to give you the emotional support after you have that baby? Are they going to help put down the first month's mortgage or rent when you're starting out? So it's a lot of things to really assess. And are they going to pay for your college? Society can give so many expectations, but if they're not ready to be there when you need them to be, well, then society has no say so in that. And who are you comparing your journey to the most right now? Is it your friend? Is it your parents? Is it standards of society? Is it your own expectations of what you want? Or is it the fear of not being good enough in the eyes of those that you love, or the eyes of those that you want to love you? That's real. That is real right there. And do you believe your timing is wrong or just different? I believe that my timing in life was different, but I believe that I was right on time for when I needed to be. Because if I got into my educational journey just to get into it, just to say I have a degree, and I didn't really purposefully think this through, because my undergrad is from Lynn University in criminal justice, and my MSW that I'm currently completing is from Howard University, two different schools, a PWI and a HBCU. But what I would say the difference between the two is not that much because Atlanta University is an international university. So there's many topics and issues that we talked about even when the Black Lives Matter movement was ramping up, as well as other social causes and issues that are still existing. Still existing. We talked about those issues. So me going to an HBCU, it wasn't a culture shock to me either, because I was able to not only be educated in my own Caribbean culture and history by my mother, who studied Caribbean history, who was taught Caribbean history in her education, but also made sure that we knew who we are ethnically, but also spiritually too. So that's another thing is how were we introduced to culture, expectations? How are we introduced to all of these things and what education really means? Because education is not just saying that I graduated from Harvard or I graduated from Yale or Columbia, when many of those same Ivy League schools are going through it right now. So this goes back to what do we really want? Do we want to say we graduated from Ivy League? Or do we want to say that we graduated from community college with our dignity and did exactly what we love to do? So at this point, the name of the school, it holds weight in some elements, but it doesn't hold a lot of weight when it comes to job security because we know where we are in this world right now. So the most important thing is being mindful of, do I love what I'm doing? Can I wake up knowing that I can do this? And can I wake up knowing that unrelentingly I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it right? And I'm not going to stop until I achieve every goal that I can out of this field, out of this genre, out of all of it. Can I eat, sleep, and breathe this? At first, I was unsure after I got my undergrad. Okay, what do I do next? Am I going to be a 911 operator? Am I going to be a law enforcement? I'm like, what am I going to do in criminal justice? But my MSW tied everything in because my high school that I got from Penn Foster um, was in healthcare administration. So I feel as though my MSW ties into every single thing. And I feel as though it all came full circle. But it happened at a different time and I had to wait because I could have gotten my undergrad in social work, but it was in criminal justice. Thank goodness that I didn't have to do other steps just to get into Howard as far as, transfer credits. Well, some credits, I think some transfer. Hmm. But it wasn't that much red tape versus other institutions as far as the steps. Like I didn't feel as though I wasn't smart enough. I wrote my letter, got my letters of recommendations from previous professors, and I also focused on my why. And why do I want to go to Howard? And why do I want to pursue my MSW? Because I know it's not easy. And I do have goals of also becoming an LCSW too, and future goals, God willing, that I'm able to meet and achieve and attain. So that goes back to the question of, do you believe your timing is wrong or just different? For many of us, we feel it is wrong, or many of us, we feel it is different. And there's always that reminder that everything works in God's timing. Because once you get it, it's like a thing, it's like that light bulb goes off and you feel like I'm finally here. And there's nothing like that feeling. There's nothing like it. And the last question is, what is your delay? What if, rephrase, what if your delay is actually development? If I didn't have those developments, because my mom put me in baking classes, sewing classes, I took other certificates in fashion merchandising, which helped me when I was a business sales supervisor. Um, Nutrition, diet, and health science certificate at Ashworth College. Um, that helped me even in many other elements where even now, because I'm trying to, get healthy as far as because grad school, my mom told me about it. The weight gain. I'm not saying that I'm, all the way. I didn't let myself go that much. But as far as where I was, I but I look cute on this camera. But what I mean is health wise and being healthy for my age and height, because I'm only 5'3.5". So that is something that I'm going to be documenting on my channel, is my health journey and just getting back into the rooted life of health. Because the most important thing is being able to, you can have all these goals, but if you're not healthy enough to be able to have a quality of life and to live to meet those goals, is harder. And I want to be able to do that in the name of Jesus. So that is precisely why every stage in life is development. Because I named off so many other certificates and I did others too. But all of that ties into what I'm doing now, and all of that ties into us having this conversation, because you probably are probably feeling like, okay, I did this, I did that. I probably only have a GED. I don't have other certificates, but it doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy of achieving a goal, because there's many entrepreneurs or prominent individuals that we now know of that started somewhere, that they got the coffee, they got they were the nail technicians, but then eventually opened their salon. And many individuals started off assistant directing, and now they're the main one in the chair. Every step in our lives is development. Nothing good ever comes easy. But the most important thing is never stopping and believing. If you're unsure about, hey, do I want to go to community college or do I want to go to traditional college? Look at the pros and the cons, but also evaluate and address if this is something for you. So that is why I want to leave you with these hot seat questions. If life had no timeline pressure, what would you be doing right now? What would you be doing right now? For me personally, I've always been theatrical, so maybe an actress for me. But I don't know. The way Hollywood is looking, I pray for them that they keep their integrity and stay where they need to be. And for those who are trying to get there, pray that they get there. And the second question is, who told you success had an age limit? I knew it didn't have an age limit. I knew it. But who told you that success had an age limit? That by 35, if you don't have a good paying job, a family, kids, a house, the whole nine yards, that you're a failure. You're not a failure. The only failure is the mindset that we possess, that we are a failure. And the only failure is giving up. But there's always a getting back up story at the end. There's always that victory lap. So I say all of this to say, you are not behind, you are being built, but you have to believe that, because I could swear up and down that this is your testimony. This is your life. This is what you're supposed to be doing. But if you don't believe that, then it's not going to manifest into the seed or the bud that's showing life of growth. Because as college students, as young people, as middle aged people, as advanced, mature, beautiful individuals, we are faced with different levels of growths. As a tree grows, you have to clean it. It has the moss. It has, as a plant grows, you have to trim it, or you have to prune it. You have to make it beautiful. Weeds, you have to pluck it. Same thing with life. Not saying to pluck somebody. Don't pluck out your eye now. What I'm saying is there's moments where it's going to feel very uncomfortable. But the most important thing is how you navigate this moment and how you make this moment glorious in many beautiful ways. So it is my hope that you're able to be blessed by this podcast, as well as to be blessed by this moment as you are navigating these big decisions. And just know that support exists for you. even in this moment. Take what resonates with you today and move gently with yourself from here. And I'm your host, Aisha Ansa. And until next time, be kind to your mind, keep choosing yourself one moment at a time. And I'm grateful that you're on this journey with me. And we're going to get into more topics, y'all. We're going to get into some more discussions because we have so much to get into. But if you have not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, share, and comment. Tell the YouTube multiverse that you want more. You want more. You really like it. You want more. I'm not sure if y'all ever saw that Geico commercial, but that girl was so cute. She knew what she wanted. Yes, it's time for us to embody that. Don't lose that inner child. Keep in mind, some inner child's got to go because some kids be doing some things, but time and place. But I'll see you guys on another episode, and stay safe, stay blessed, take care of yourselves, and God bless you. Bye now.